Hello viewers! In this video, we're going to dive into the folder structure of a Django project and explain how Django connects all its objects together. I've already created a basic Django project for this explanation. If you're interested in the creation process, please refer to the previous video for a better understanding. Alternatively, you can follow along with this current video. Let's look at the folder structure. You will see two main folders. First, starting with the virtual environment folder. Next, the second main folder is the project root folder. The project root folder acts as a container, holding all the necessary folders and files for the entire project. You will see the manage.py file. This file is a command line utility. We use it to execute all the essential commands required for our project. Inside the project root folder, you'll find another folder with the same name as your project. This is the project main folder.
This folder is crucial as it holds all the project's configuration and settings. Let's expand the project main folder. Immediately, you'll see four files. Note, both asgi.py and wsgi.py are entry point files primarily required for deployment. We won't focus on them immediately. Next, let's look at the two critical files, settings.py and urls.py. Settings.py is a very important configuration file. This is where we define all the project-level configurations. urls.py is where we set up and define all the URL paths for our website. Let's open Settings. You'll find sections installed apps, middleware, templates, databases, password validators, static files, and more. All project settings are configured right here. Now, let's open urls.py. This file is where all the website's URLs are defined and set up. In other frameworks, these are often referred to as routes. The primary function of urls.py is to connect all the URL routes to their respective views.
Django follows the MTV architecture, which stands for Model, Template, and View. The model is responsible for managing the application's data. It handles database schema definition, including the creation, deletion, and updating of database tables. It also manages data insertion, deletion, and updating. The template is responsible for the user interface and presentation layer. All the front-end HTML elements of the website are defined within the template layers. The view contains the business logic. This is where all the website's business logic is built. This includes fetching data from the database, displaying it in the UI, or taking user input from the UI and storing it in the database.
The view is responsible for handling all interactions with the database tables.
Currently, we don't have the necessary files or folders to fully implement the MTV architecture. For that, we need to create a Django app. A Django app is essentially a folder designed to build specific features of a website. It can be thought of as a module. Example, in an e-commerce website, you would use separate Django apps to build sections like products, cart, page, users, review page. Let's create a Django app now. First, we need to navigate to the project root folder.
cd space project_root folder and press enter. We have now navigated into the project root folder. Now we can execute the command to create an app. For our e-commerce example, let's start with products app. Python space manage.py space start app products.
Products is a suitable name for an e-commerce product page.
Upon execution, you'll see that a new products folder has been created. Let's now minimize the project main folder and expand the products folder. Inside, you will find files like models.py and views.py, among others. Notice that there is no folder for templates. We need to create this manually. Inside the products folder, create a new folder named templates. This templates folder is where we will build the template layer. We will use the Django template language, DTL, to build the files inside this layer. Models.py is where we define all the database schema definitions. Views.py is where we build all the logic for the website. Admin.py is a predefined tool that allows for simple user management and database management. Apps.py defines the configurations necessary for this specific application. Tests.py, we use this file to create test cases.
For a clearer understanding, let's visualize the current folder hierarchy. I will now create the current folder structure. This will give us a successfully organized project with all the necessary folders and files hierarchy. I will minimize the virtual environment folder since we don't need it for now. This is project root folder. This is project main folder. This is project app folder, products. The project app folder will increase in number, like cart, orders, etc., as your website grows. The project main folder will generally remain constant. Every time you create a new app, you must link it to the project main folder. This linking is done in the settings.py file. Next, we will create a simple product homepage. To do this, I will navigate to the folder Explorer. Before we do that, we need to link the product app to the project's main folder. For that, open settings.py in the project main folder, scroll to the Installed Apps section at the top, add the app's folder name, Products, to the list. This completes the configuration link using settings.py.
To link our app, we need to configure both settings.py and urls.py. We have just added the product app to the Installed Apps section in settings.py. Open the project main folder's urls.py. Next, we need to link the app's URLs to the project's main urls.py. Create a urls.py file inside the product's app folder. To do this, import the include function near the path function. Add a new path to link the app's URLs. For that, I will copy and paste the existing path function. We will use an empty string for the path, which means the app's URLs will start from the root of the domain. I will now add include products.urls to the URL pattern. The URL configuration is now complete. This means we have successfully linked the product app to the project's main folder. Let's now create the steps for a simple product homepage and test it by running the server. First, open the urls.py file we created in the products folder. The urls.py file in our app is currently empty. To save time, let's copy the basic configuration from the project level urls.py and paste it here. Since we won't be using the admin interface in this app, we can remove the admin import and its corresponding URL path. Now, I'll define a new URL pattern. The path is home/. For now, I'm linking it to a placeholder view called views.home, which we'll create shortly. We also gave it a name home_page. This URL name can be used in multiple places in our logic. Since we haven't created the actual view yet, our next step will be to define views.home. Open views.py in the products folder. Since we are only returning a simple HTML response for now, we'll import HTTP response. From Django.http, import HTTP response. Next, we need to create a view. Def home request. The view function takes a request object as its input, which is automatically passed from the URL routes. Return a simple response to the browser. So, return HTTP response. The HTTPS response object can send either simple text or full HTML. For now, I'm going to return a simple text response to confirm our view is working. Welcome to my shop product page. Go back to products/urls.py. Now that the home function exists in views.py, we can correctly import it. Correctly import the views module to fix the error squiggle, which is a wavy underline. From .views, import home. Now, error is fixed.
Final step, execute the run server command from the project root folder. Python manage.py run server and press enter. This command starts the development server and displays all the startup details in the terminal. Then, the server should run successfully. Click the provided URL while holding Control or Command. When the browser opens, you will see a page not found 404 error. This is because we need to navigate to the specific path for our product homepage that we just created. The correct path to enter is
home. You should see the successful output Welcome to My Shop product page. In the next video, we will cover the following topics: how to create the database models for the product page. We'll use ORM, object relational mapping, and the migration commands. We'll examine the complete data working flow and how Django interacts with the database. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and comment. Thank you for watching.